Now we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of what Indians are all about.
I still say we Indian people are believers in the truth. This is the way of life that was given to your people. You're born an Indian, you're going to die an Indian. Indianness is a good life. You're facing an Indian this afternoon.
This week on Muskogee Vision, we got a rare opportunity to go behind the scenes at the River Spirit Casino and Resort. The casino and Muskogee Creek Nation Casino CEO Pat Crofts were both recently the recipient of some prestigious awards. Mr. Croft took some time out of his busy schedule to sit down with Muskogee Media and talk about some of the trials and rewards for Creek casinos in the past year. So stay with us after the break. And once again, thanks for watching Muskogee Vision.
Hey guys, Jimmy Signs, Fountainhead Creek Golf Course. Going to talk to you a little bit about some promotions that we're doing throughout the winter and going on in spring. Got some good announcements going on. Excited about our high school season. We were awarded the 3A Boy Regional, which will be held in April or May, first part of May, and the 4A Girl Regional, which will be hosted the last week of April, the 28th. So that's big news for us, along with 6 other high school events that we'll be hosting this year. So that's very, very promising for our new season. Golf specials, we are running a a food can drive from now until January the 12th. For each item up to 5, we'll knock off $1 for your round. So up to 5 goods. It can be canned goods, box goods, whatever, bring them out to the course. And we'll deliver them once the promotion is finished. So I'm excited about that. We're also doing a Customer Appreciation Week, December 2nd through the 8th, 18 holes for $18. And if you want a small bag of balls, we'll throw that in for an extra $2. Does not include tax. So again, December 2nd through the 8th, we're going to be doing a Customer Appreciation Week and be 18 holes for $18. We're also doing a golf promo pass that for $30 a month, that will get you a golf pass. Monday through Thursday, your cart fee will be $13 plus tax. On the weekends, Friday through Sunday, it'll be $17 plus tax. If you bring out a buddy or a group of guys once a month, we'll do the same price for that group. For Creek employees, same offer, but instead of $30 a month, it'll be $20 a month. That also includes practice balls. So if you want to come out and just practice, hit balls, the guys will give you a bag of balls, you can go out and warm up or just practice. Use our putting green, practice facilities as well. Same thing, if you bring out a buddy, we'll charge them the same. You'll get one pass a month for a friend or a group. So however everyone do it, come out and see us, and hope you have a good time.
Pat Crofts, CEO of Muskogee Creek Nation Casinos, was recently named one of the top 30 CEOs in Indian Country by Native Business Magazine. During his time as CEO, Pat has overseen consistent excellence at Creek casinos year after year, culminating in a prestigious AAA 4-Diamond Award for the River Spirit Resort and Casino. Muskogee Media caught up with Mr. Crofts at a recent photo shoot and spoke with him about River Spirit's roller coaster year and what the future holds for Creek casinos. So we kind of crashed your a photo shoot today, but can you tell us, Mr. Croft, a little bit about some of the recent accolades for both River Spirit and yourself? I understand that you've been named one of the top 30 CEOs and one of 10 Oklahomans.
Right. Yeah. Starting with the property first, we just this week in the Oklahoma Magazine were named one of the 2019 best companies to work for in the state of Oklahoma. Incredible. And about 3-4 weeks ago, we received our AAA 4 Diamond Award. This is the third year in a row ever since the day we opened. Within the first 6 months of opening, we were reviewed by AAA and got a 4 Diamond rating. And we've gotten one ever since we've been opening, which is really exceptional.
Do you know what they score on? What kind of things they look for?
They score on the facility itself, how nice it is, the amenities, how nice and furnished it is, but also your service and the overall atmosphere. We've got to have certain things like business centers and things like that besides nice rooms, and they score you on all that. But it's the quality of the facility plus the service and the atmosphere.
The 4 Diamond, something that you guys have gotten since you opened the resort. It's just you've had like year after year.
Right. Well, it was one of our goals when we designed and built the hotel to achieve a 4 Diamond Award. To get it the very first year, it was not surprising because we were trying to do it. But had we not got it the first year, we would have understood, because unless you're like a Ritz-Carlton or Four Seasons or something, they're built to be a 5 Diamond or a 4 Diamond 5-star. We knew we were building a very, very nice facility, and it was great getting the 4-star. In fact, like I said, within the first 6 months of opening, because we're still, it takes 6 months to work out all the bugs of a brand new ground-up facility. And a lot of times people get reviewed when they haven't worked out all the bugs, so they don't make it until the next cycle of reviews.
You're still kind of like training people and trying to get things in order. So, but you guys nailed it down.
But it was great, and we're that's our goal now, is to get it every year.
Did you have any like, I looked at the list of those other 4 Diamond winners. Was there anybody you were kind of like chasing, like you were expecting to maybe try to get there with someone else?
But we weren't chasing anybody, but we knew we were going to be better than the Hard Rock.
Okay. So I guess my next kind of question is going to go back to some of those accolades that you personally have gotten involved in. Can you tell us a little bit about what it's like to be one of the top 30 CEOs, Oklahoman of the Year, things like that?
Sure. Yeah, starting with the top 30 CEOs, that was by the Native Business Magazine, and it was very, it was a great, I guess, award. I was really pleased to get it. I know a number of the people that are CEOs in there. I've known them for years, since I've been in the industry for a long time. But it was nice. I mean, it's not just me though. The facility and everything we had done. Obviously, the flood we had here, we got a lot of local, regional, and national, PR over that. And the fact that we were able to pay our employees and, maintain their benefits and salary and take care of our employees, I think that all played into it. So not just me. I mean, I've been in the business a long time. I've been involved in developing a whole lot of properties all over the U.S. and the world, but it was very nice.
So that's kind of going to segue into my next question a little bit. With the last year that we've seen the River Spirit go through, can you kind of just like recap it for us a little bit? Well,
2019 started off great. I mean, our business and our revenues and the amount of money we've been able to distribute back to the nation has climbed, double digits since we opened this new facility. It's been very, very good. And say 2019 started off good. The local economy, the nation economy, everything was going. We were just hitting on all 8 cylinders. We were running above 80% occupancy in our hotel. And when you're doing that, you're turning away business, particularly on the weekends and busy nights. So we were pulling out our master plan for the next hotel tower and the next expansion. Right. And then along came May 22nd and the flood, and we were shut down for 30 days during the flood. And it was a pretty terrible time for all of us. It's not very often you walk into a cold, dark, noiseless, quiet casino. It was very eerie.
Yeah, and seeing it all lit up all the time, I mean, it's
Right.
probably another real experience.
But it was a pretty good punch to the job, and it wasn't a knockout blow. You know, we all came together, and we had during the remediation, we had several hundred of our even though we were paying all of our employees, we had a number of them working here. You know, during the flood, and our security people, our facilities people, and all of our managers. We met every morning. Did a game plan, what's going on, and then plus we had many times over 500 remediation employees. We had 3 remediation firms that had people on site 24/7. We knew we needed to get back and going as quickly as we could because we were losing a lot of money every day from lost business.
Going from that 80% occupancy
Right.
to,
From 80
lights
to 80 to
out.
0 overnight,
Yeah.
basically.
So-
Yeah, we basically had. The reason we closed actually is we were notified by the PSO, the power company, that the underground electricity here. There's an underground electric vault up at 81st and Riverside, and the water was getting close to that. So 10 o'clock one morning we got a call from PSO and said we're shutting off your power at 2 o'clock this afternoon. So we had 4 hours to evacuate the hotel, evacuate the casino, get all of our employees out, do everything we could to secure the property and get out of here.
Okay. So what was the? I'm a Muskogee Creek citizen, and I know other Muskogee Creek citizens were just anxiously watching this flood. This is one of our flagship enterprises of our tribe. What did it mean for the River Spirit to be able to get through that period, have staff and employees not miss a paycheck? And I mean, I'm just going to kind of like lead my interview here with you, but like to me, that speaks of a company culture that is unparalleled.
It is. I mean, we talked about it as a group, as management, and it's not the employees' fault that this happened. And we do have a lot of entry-level employees and employees that that don't have the means to go without a paycheck, and without knowing how long we were going to be closed. We made the decision to pay employees as long as we were closed, and we went public with it. A couple of times I wondered, if I should have done it or not, but I did it on camera, and luckily we were only closed for 4 weeks. But our payroll was, $2.5 million every payroll, and we didn't know. We really didn't know. We didn't know if it was going to be 6 days, 6 weeks, or 6 months that we're going to be closed, but we made that decision. We went to the Gaming Operations Authority Board and told them what they were going to do. We got their blessing. We talked to National Council, and the nation was standing ready. If we couldn't keep doing that, without money coming in, if we got to a point we needed to get an appropriation, the council was standing ready to do that. We did not have to do that. We had cash reserves that we were able to pay the month's worth of payroll and benefits and everything like that. So we didn't have to ask for help from the nation.
I remember sitting there as an employee, and everybody's looking at their budgets, going, okay, what if it gets really nitty gritty here?
Yeah.
And I think everybody really was in the mindset that this is the right decision to make. That they wanted to be prepared,
Right.
for.
And it brought our employees together. It certainly helped with the morale, and it helped with our retention. It also brought us a lot of business in. I mean, we had people after we reopened. We had a lot of people that were coming here, and I know our security guard was telling me one time he was talking to a couple. They were in a mobile home, a big RV, and they were at a casino in Arizona, and they saw on the national news what was going on here, and they looked at each other and said, "We got to go to that place. This is a place we'd like to go." They're stepping up. They're paying their employees, and so they came here and found a place to park their RV and came here and visited. And we've had all kinds of reports about people that have that feeling that this is a quality company, and this is somewhere we would like to go. And show that that we understand what they did and we respect it.
As a bit of a news addict, I don't think I've ever seen or read of anyone else, to my knowledge, that's done something like that. Have you heard of it, Steve?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I've worked for casinos in Nevada where the snow would close the pass, and you'd close up, and it wasn't for an extended period of time. I guess it was a mudslide one time, and we were closed for probably 3 or 4 weeks. the salaried management people, we were like, I was lucky I was one of those. We got paid, but all of our hourly employees and people that were kind of non-critical employees, they had to go apply for unemployment basically. So it's very, very unusual. You're right. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't recall anybody that has done that for all of their employees.
What is it like I'm imagining that Tulsa is quite a competitive market as far as gaming goes. Like, can you give us some insights into that, what it's like being in Tulsa? And we all know Indian country is divided several different ways. Right.
Well, I mean, certainly a lot of casinos. There's probably more casinos other than the state of Nevada. There are more casinos in Oklahoma than any other state, and obviously they're all tribal. It seems like it's crowded here and a lot of competition, which there is here in Tulsa. But similar sized cities like Reno, Nevada, or places like that, they'll have a lot more casinos. But it is highly competitive here. I mean, we've raised the bar for everybody. I mean, since we opened up, Hard Rock has had to do a number of expansions. Osage has done a major expansion. And we just, it's kind of raised the bar for everybody. The entertainment offerings, the restaurant offerings. We all, we're all friends, but we all compete.
Yeah, it seems like, iron's going to sharpen iron, and it's going to do nothing but strengthen everybody.
Right.
But hopefully the real winners are the people visiting the facilities. So.
And we see market share reports, and we used to, before we built our hotel and the convention center and the theater, when it was just the old casino, and then we did River Spirit Phase 1, which was a very large casino, but none of the other amenities. We would look at the market share reports and see one of our major competitors, every weekend the hotel would fill up. They'd, put people in their showroom, and our market share would go down and theirs would go up. And we were in the planning and development stages of Phase 2. And now that Phase 2 has happened, we don't see that. I mean, our market share is the highest in the market right now.
Wonderful, that's good to hear. What is that going to be like for the overall economy in this area? I feel like we've seen some of those impact reports coming out, the Oklahoma Tribal Impact Reports and things like that. Can you talk to that a little bit?
Well, I think the economy is good. I mean, we're obviously very, very dependent on oil and gas, and we'll see what happens there. As long as the price of oil and gas stays up, we're in good shape. I mean, Tulsa's growing. I mean, you get the distribution centers, and new things are coming in the area all the time. So I think we have a very positive outlook on it. Things change, and the economics are always go in cycles, and we're flying pretty high right now. So we always keep looking over our shoulders and keep the cash reserves and things we need. But I think overall we're very positive. We're looking not only here at River Spirit, but we've got a remodel project at our Okemah Casino. We're looking at either some rebuilds or remodels of some of our other older casinos also. So we're positive enough. We're going to keep investing in our products.
So I understand that the market's competitive and you can't just divulge all the trade secrets, but what are the next phases and plans for Muskogee Creek Nation's gaming?
Well, the largest one obviously would be here. Our master plan is for another hotel tower, more convention space, more restaurants, and it's all planned out for that. Like I said, before the flood, we were running at over 80% occupancy for a month after month after month, and we were getting ready to pull the trigger on that. We've recovered a lot, and we're in a little bit of a slower season now. But I think that's the main thing would be, keep this product, and this property up to speed and up to date, and very, where people want to come. We are investing money. We're over at Muskogee. I don't know if you're familiar with our Muskogee Casino, but we have a travel plaza and a casino, and there's a stream that meanders between the two, and we're in the process of a project right now. We're going through Corps of Engineers permitting right now to underground and cover over that stream, and then we can start doing some remodel or rebuild over at the Muskogee facility.
Okay.
Like I said, Okemah, that one's out to bid right now. That's sometime in early to mid 2020 we'll start. That's a total remodel of the exterior and the interior of the Okima property. And we're looking at others also. We have 9 casinos and 2 travel plazas. And we have a shared services, or a lot of people call it corporate. We don't like to say corporate, it's kind of a bad word, but it's shared services. And this group, we are over the direction and management of all 9 casinos and the 2 travel plazas. We employ over 2,200 employees, and it's a big business. We do, several $100 million of revenue every year, and it's a big business. And we do administer and look over all of the properties.
So it's really easy when you throw out those kind of numbers to see what that economic impact is for the state of Oklahoma, and how many people are employed and how that revenue's generated. I talked a little bit earlier with the idea, the question of what it's like, because you have experience in gaming in other avenues, not just Indian gaming.
Right.
Can you compare the different environments for us and kind of give us an idea of what that return is? We had discussed what it's like, say, in other places where it's not Indian gaming, it's an individual ownership, and how that can pull money out of the community. But when we talk about Indian gaming, what this does with our vendors and our businesses, and how that gives something back.
Yeah, obviously the biggest difference, like you say, is the ownership. I've worked at a lot of casinos in my career. Some of them are private. A lot of them, the bigger casinos, are all owned by publicly traded companies. Large publicly traded companies, and it's all about what they give back to their shareholders in the way of dividends. So a lot of the money that they take in, they do some reinvesting, but they have to pay dividends to keep their owners happy. In tribal gaming, we don't do that. We 100% of our net income is distributed to the nation. So it's not going to go out of state. It's going to be used by the nation for the benefit of all the nation's citizens. So that's really the primary difference, is the ownership. The way you run casinos, there are a couple of weird laws in Oklahoma, like the non-house bank games and things like that. And but other than that, the way you operate a casino, your internal controls and regulations and stuff are a lot the same. The tribes we do. A lot of states will have a state gaming commission that regulates all the casinos in the state. Each tribe has their own gaming, regulator. And here it's called the Office of Public Gaming, but each tribe does have this gaming board or gaming regulator that oversees what we're doing. And then there's the National Indian Gaming, Commission, and we have outside auditors and things like that. So there's a lot of oversight and a lot of controls.
Do you have a preference, having experienced both fields?
I really like working where I am right now. The big corporations, a couple of them I worked for, it was all about, they're all worried about what's next quarter's earnings and what's our dividend for the next quarter, instead of looking more long range. We can look long range. We do have to make sure we keep the distributions to the nation, at a high level, because they do, whatever is earned this year will be next year's budget. Like you said, people, when we're shut down, that could impact a whole lot of people. So we have to be mindful of that, but we've got to keep investing also. But there was unfortunately, some pretty short-term thinking. It's all about, keeping your investors happy, keeping your share price up, and sometimes making some short-term decisions that would have been better long-term decisions.
You've kind of explained this a little bit, but it was off camera. But could you talk about what it looked like visiting privately owned casinos versus what we have here?
Right. Yeah. We broke the mold here a little bit. We didn't follow, I guess, Casino 101, where you make everybody walk through this casino before you get to your front desk or you get to restaurants or showrooms. We wanted it to be friendly to everyone and introduce a whole new product, here in Oklahoma. And this is a very first-class resort. You could pick up this resort and put it anywhere in the world. It would be very, very competitive, and it would be one of the better ones. You walk in, it's a beautiful lobby. We've got the big video board there. You can go to the restaurants, you can go to the hotel, go to the convention center. But we did put a very nice portal or entry into the casino. So if people want to go to the casino, they're certainly welcome to do that. But we broke the mold a little bit, and that was deliberate. We did want to bring people in. A lot of people, their impression of a particularly a tribal casino, and a lot of traditional casinos too, unless they're giant resorts. But most people think of a casino, you walk in and it's dark and smoky and, you know, not a pleasant experience. And we wanted to go as far away from that as we could. And we do. We have people that come in to go to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse or go to one of our concerts, and they walk in and they say, "Wow, I can't believe this." I mean, we've had people, and like our pool deck down there, you'd think you're in the Caribbean or in South Florida. We had people down there all the time. Down there last summer, I was talking to a couple, and they found out who I was, and the wife walked over and she said, "I got to thank you." And I go, "What's that for?" She says, "My husband got transferred here from Florida, and we've been moping around for months. We heard about your place. We come here every weekend now because we feel like we're back in Florida. We can kick back and relax, and you got palm trees, and you got water, and it's just." And everyone says the same thing, that the facility is like nothing else around here, and the pool deck down there is just, you know, it's over the top.
It really is a little bit of something for everyone, even if
yeah.
you're not like looking to play machines
Yep.
or play the tables, because like I'm not so much of a gambler, but I have been to the Cove several times and come here for some great food, and so the rooms are beautiful too if you just want a weekend getaway like the Florida couple.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And that was here again. That was by design. It was kind of the tropical Margaritaville-esque. But people do. They all say the same thing. It kind of sells itself. We do a lot of convention business. We've actually, within the first 6 months of opening, we had people here from every state in the U.S. All 50 states. We had people, as well as several foreign countries. And as you talk to them, they're all going, "Wow, we can't believe this. We're going to come back for vacation, or we're going to come back, you know, visiting or whatever." And so we get people stay here and experience. We have a lot of return business.
Wonderful. Do you ever get the folks who are just like, "I can't believe I'm experiencing this in Tulsa, Oklahoma"? You know, like
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of people that they do. Wow, this is like Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and it's kind of like when we were trying to get Margaritaville here. I did a cold call to the CEO of Margaritaville because we knew we needed a you know, a brand, and I told him who I was, and I was calling from Tulsa, and he goes, "You're talking about Tulsa as in Oklahoma?" I go, "Yeah, I am." He goes, "All right, you better start talking." I said,
Explain this to me.
How about I come out to Las Vegas and visit with you, and so I went out and visited with them. It took a lot of, you know, speaking, but once we got them interested and they came out and they saw phase one of River Spirit, they said, "You know, you guys have built a quality project here." And that was one of our sales pitches too, is being on the river, you know, because he said, "Well, we normally do things on beaches and, you know, resort areas." And I said, "Well, we're on the Arkansas River." And he goes, "The what?" I said, "That's one of the major tributaries to the Mississippi River. It's a huge river." He goes, "Well," and I said, we're also on a sandbar. There's a lot of sand. When it's not full of water, we're on the sand." He goes, "Well, okay."
Everything you would expect from a Margaritaville.
Right, exactly.
Well, I appreciate so much that you
You
give
bet.
us your
No,
time
thank
and got
you.
to kind of get the insider insights
You
from
bet.
the CEO, and I
appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for
We're
coming
looking
up.
forward
And
to another great year.
it will be another great year. We're up and running. I mean, one thing since the flood is people come in here and they look around and they go, "Really was a flood here?" And we go, "Yeah." And I said, "Well, we're kind of looking around for the watermarks on your walls and stuff like that." And you go, "You're not going to see that." Number one, the water was not up in the casino level, but even if you went downstairs, I mean, we tore everything down to the bare concrete and metal studs and rebuilt it. And
brand new?
no one would ever know if they hadn't seen it in the news that we had a flood here.